Hello, Water Warriors. I am back for another live today, and today I want to talk about hunger because that's one of the main things that everybody always asks me about. Hunger. What to do when I'm hungry, what to do when I have urges to eat, how do you push through to the next level without giving into your eating and your cravings and all those kind of urges to eat. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of tips that I have personally that I use. I'm currently finishing up day 3, and day 2, 3 is kind of like that hump I always tell you guys about that gets easier after a while. So I've been reading this book called Brain Over Binge, and it's been really kind of changing my mindset because I like to read these books so I can bring you guys more and more information all the time. And today I just got this one in the mail, which is Rational Recovery. And the author of this book, Kathryn Hansen, actually talks about this book being based on her recovery thanks to this book. So that's kind of like, woo, I just got this one and I'm halfway done this one. So I have a nice reading list back together. Kat is here, Dimitri's here. Hey guys. So anyway, this is part of my habit tracking, as I told you guys in the other couple lives, that I'm forcing myself as part of my habits to get back in the rhythm of these live videos. And as you guys know, it always helps me while I'm fasting, and I'm pushing through getting over day 3 right now, and our challenge groups are going strong right now with the 2 challenge groups currently finishing up day 1. So let me give you a little bit of tips in terms of how to deal with your mind and how to deal with the urges to eat. Especially for me, this happens late night because I usually cook a meal for my partner late at night. So the thing you have to think about, for example, last night was the evening of day 2 going on to day 3. I got super not hungry. I wasn't hungry, but mentally I had these sudden urges and I wanted to eat like cashews. I really wanted to eat cashews and I couldn't stop thinking about them. And all of a sudden, I remembered what I read in the book, because I've been reading it 30 minutes a day minimum just to get back into those habits. And it was talking about using your animal brain and your human brain and kind of separating them from each other. That's kind of the way that I interpreted the book. So she talks about how you have your animal brain and you have your human brain. Now, the human brain is the one that can make the rational decisions. For example, I'm telling my hand to hold this book. That's a rational decision. It's my mind controlling my hand to grab this book. That's my human brain. Now, my animal brain is the other side of the brain that's kind of more the animal instincts that you don't really have any control over unless you kind of take it out of your mind and realize that your human brain actually controls the animal brain. And I don't know here, I should have actually showed you a diagram in the book about what she talks about. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Oh, here you go. She actually has a diagram in the book about this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the darker part is kind of what she calls the animal brain, and then the human brain is the top part. So she talks about the hypothalamus and the subcortex, which is the darker area of the book, being your animal brain, and the top of that is the lighter area, which is the cerebral cortex. Anyway, that's what she talks about in the book, and she's just kind of defining it as taking a minute to look at yourself and remove yourself from your body and look from outside. And that's how she recovered from her binge eating. And obviously I'm kind of like summing this up in a nutshell, and best thing to do is pick up the book, and I put it in the links down below if you guys do want to pick it up, because she has a completely different story. Hers is a lot of other things, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed using some of these words. Well, I'll just show you the words, these kind of words on YouTube, because I don't know if it'll get kind of flagged or something, so I'm just not going to say those words. But here was what she says. So I tried this exercise yesterday when I was really craving those cashews, and I told myself, okay, I'm craving it, and I'm allowing myself to feel those cravings, and I'm allowing myself to understand that cravings are natural, but at the same time, I need to step back and realize that I also have control over my brain and over the rational side of my brain, the human brain. So I can actually enjoy having those cravings and understand that it's a natural part of my body to have those cravings and have those animal urges, but at the same time that I have the rational side of my brain that's able to be like, hey, you know what? Enjoy the cravings, you're having the cravings, but you have your whole life to eat the foods that you want, and right now you're doing this, so right now is not the time to eat, and pull yourself out of it. And I've talked about these in my pep talks of water fasting before, where you just have to really be like, okay, I'm craving something, that's it. I will allow myself to crave it, and then I'm gonna think about it for a few minutes, and then remember why I'm making the decision consciously not to eat it, right? So that's what I did. And then another thing happened where my partner went to take a shower, and I was just sitting on the bed waiting for him because we were going to go to the other room and just kind of like, I was gonna make him dinner. I don't know why I said that so weird. But anyway, I was gonna go make him dinner in the other room, and he wanted to shower first. So I was waiting for him before I go make the dinner. And I was just sitting on the couch and staring at a box of cookies that he was eating, right? I was just sitting there staring at it for like 15 minutes. And I kind of almost did this like as an exercise to force myself to be like, okay, I wonder how the tools that I'm learning from this book will be applied to this current cravings that I have, that I'm seeing this thing that's sugary that I want to crave and that I want, but then at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to use these tools. So I was sitting there staring at it for like 15 minutes. It was ridiculous. And I was just kind of really curious. And generally, I kind of get over it a lot faster and I just walk away. But I really wanted to see how it felt. And I was really sitting there like reflecting about how powerful our human brain is over our urges. And another analogy that I actually thought about is, I thought about this analogy and I said it in one of the challenge groups the other day, where let's say that somebody is married, right? And then someone of the opposite sex goes by and you find them attractive, or someone finds them attractive, or whatever that is. Sometimes what happens to men and women, and often men or women or whatever, I'm not gonna kind of differentiate that. I don't want to offend anyone. So sometimes you see someone of the opposite sex go by, and then, you know, some of us have this like animal brain inside us. It's like, ooh, that person's good looking. And maybe you have like urges to flirt. That happens to a lot of people. So then you have to remember that it's kind of the same analogy as like your animal brain is the side of your brain that wants to kind of bounce on that opportunity, if you know what I mean, right? And then your human brain is the one that's like rational about it and it's like, no, I cannot act on these urges. Same type of concept as binge eating or eating in general and kind of giving into your urges, because you have that animal instinct that's like, yeah, I'm gonna eat it. There's food right there. I'm an animal. But then there's your human brain that's like, well, no, you don't want this right now because whatever you're craving right now, those are not things that are healthy and it's not part of your current plan for success, which could or could not be water fasting at this point. So that's kind of like some little tricks that I have in terms of how to deal with hunger. Now, also just remembering that I always say this, that you have your entire life to eat the foods that you love. So what you can do also is you can visualize it, right? Whatever you're craving, I'm sure you've eaten it before. So look at it, or if you have it in the pantry or something, look at it and be like, well, okay, don't hold it in your hand because that's pretty tempting. That's too close. That's too close for comfort. But you could think about it and really be like, okay, I know what it tastes like. I know what it smells like. I know what the texture is like. So why do I have to eat it right now? Because I know the pleasure from it. I know exactly what kind of pleasure I will receive from eating it until I eat it, and then it's gone. It's literally like in Mean Girls, they say, what is it? A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. It's like the same concept. That's a good little motto that they have in Mean Girls, because you're just gonna eat it for like 3 seconds and then it's gone. And then you wanna eat one again. And instead, why don't you just spend those 3 seconds remembering and reminiscing about what it tastes like? Because you already know what it tastes like, what it feels like, what the texture is like, what it smells like. You already know. So how about you take a step back and remember, okay, I know exactly what it tastes like. Okay, I'm done. Now I can have it in the future when I allow myself to do it after my fast, after my refeed, after I've gotten to my goal. And that's the best thing that you can do. So these are kind of some little tidbits of tips that I wanted. I also had something else, but I forgot. But I'm really excited because this book is just like a really good book. So I highly recommend it if you guys want to pick it up. In general, I just say, like, no matter what it is, try to keep yourself immersed in the world of fasting and staying away from hunger. And it's really good as a tool to put that in your habits. For example, like the people that are doing the 7-day challenge this week, it's a good idea to add reading or researching about fasting or about eating and all these different things as part of your 30 minutes a day habit tracker. And I'll show you guys, I can't show you because that's my phone actually, but I post it on my Instagram all the time with my habit trackers. And it's a really good way to stay immersed inside your fast and remember why you're doing this. Because every day you're feeding yourself more and more information that's teaching you, like, okay, I need to do this and I need to keep doing this and not break my fast and keep going. So this book is in the description, highly recommend it. This book, I assume it's really good because this book is the one that inspired this lady to write this book and quit binging forever. So I will tell you guys how I feel about this book once I've read it. But yeah, these are the two books. And obviously, as you guys know, I always talk about this Complete Guide to Fasting, also in the links below, and the Obesity Code if you guys want to learn more about fasting. So this one's more about fasting, and this one's more about fasting and then also like insulin resistance and, you know, reversing diabetes and things like that. And then I also have the Diabetes Code, but I haven't read it yet. So these are all my books. I'm starting to have like a really nice bookshelf. It's very satisfying. And I like paperbacks. I know I could get the PDFs, but there's something about just kind of completely unplugging from technology and taking these books and going to sit outside, and it's almost like a form of meditation where you're reflecting, you're taking in the information, you're reading about it, you're learning. And that's why I don't really like to read. Like, you know, I know some people have a Kindle, and I know some people have a computer or a phone that they read on, but I really, really like paper copies, and I keep them forever. And I always put notes in them and stuff. Like, I highlight them up and I save stuff so I can come back later and give you guys some tips about the things that I've learned. And for example, in the fasting groups these days, I've been taking lots of screenshots about this and putting them in. So that's kind of my really, really quick thing. And it's crazy because she talks about how she's done years and years of therapy. And again, if I'm saying something wrong, then I'm just halfway through the book, so I might have made a few mistakes. But she talks about how she went to therapy for like years, maybe like 5-6 years, in order to help her recover. And it never helped her because instead of realizing that there were no, I mean, obviously she said it's like multifaceted. There could be other reasons, you know, childhood reasons, like fulfilling a natural like urge inside you to eat, or it could be just reasons that are, you know, you're insecure, you're emotional, you're using eating as a way to cope, etc. But also she talks about this topic that not enough people talk about, where she said sometimes the only reason that you're eating is because eating helps you cope with the urge to eat. Just as simple as that, one sentence. Eating helps you cope with the urge to eat. And what she means by this is that sometimes the only reason that you're eating is to stop yourself from thinking about eating, right? Sometimes that's the only thing that can stop you, and that helps you cope with the urges, right? You just eat, and then all of a sudden it's not obsessing in your mind and bothering you anymore. And that's why she said is a big component of why she realized that she doesn't need to eat anymore, because she realized that there were some deeper meanings and stuff, but one of the main reasons was that she would eat to cope with the urge to eat. And you guys know more than anyone, so do I, that sometimes those urges to eat, they're inside your head and they're like, eat, come on, eat. That's your animal brain. It's like the little devil on your shoulder trying to force you to eat the things that you shouldn't eat and just forcing you to eat it because it just wants you to eat and fulfill and give in to those animal desires. So that's kind of like all I have to talk about today. Those are some tips that I have, is just really like step back. First of all, remember that you've probably eaten it, and it's not the last time that you're ever going to eat this, and it's not the first time you're ever going to eat this. So that's something that I say. And obviously, like if you're on a vacation to an exotic country, then obviously like you're not going to be fasting anyway. You're probably going to be doing some sort of OMAD or something like that. But now I'm talking really more deeply about water fasting and just like in our day-to-day lives, because you know what I say, like if you're going on an exotic vacation somewhere, which I don't think anyone's doing anytime soon because of the current state of the world, but it's really important to just kind of realize that unless you're in that situation where it's the once in a lifetime opportunity, where it's the only time in the world you'll ever be able to eat that, like on a vacation, I don't know, to Asia with some exotic foods, then there's probably no reason for you to be eating right now. There's no reason for you to break your fast right now. You're craving what? Something minor that's sitting in the fridge. Like, you know what it tastes like. If it's in your fridge, you've probably had it before. You've probably made it before. So there's absolutely no reason to break your fast, right? And remember why you're doing this. Remember, I know that day 3 gets hard, and I know the cravings are gonna kick in, and I know sometimes you get depressed and you're like, oh, if I have to not eat for the rest of my life, like this is depressing. If that's what I have to do in order to lose weight, blah, blah, blah. And you're gonna start making these excuses in your head and trying to justify so hard that you wanna eat. You're gonna try so hard. And Deborah is here. She says, with the brain effects of water fasting, I can go a little crazy, trippy vacation in my imagination. Oh, exactly. what happens, and if you ask anybody in the team or anybody in our water fasting community, is that you really start to hit that euphoria level around like day 5 or 6. Some people get it later, some people don't get it, but most people get that euphoria and that high energy feeling around day 5 or 6. So if you've ever water fasted before and you've gotten to day 3 or you've gotten to day 4 and then you stopped because you gave into those urges to eat, you were literally like at the peak. That's the turning point. That's the hardest part, that you get to that day 3 or 4 and then you just, boom, you just need to go over the edge. Right? You go over the edge and then boom, you're over the hump, and then the energy is going to start to come back. Your mental clarity is going to start to come back. Your euphoria is going to start to come back. And I'm telling you that right now because I am on day 3 going on day 4, and although like the more you practice fasting, even though sometimes it's hard, like mentally I wasn't there during the whole pandemic, like the first couple months when it was just really bad, checking the news too much. Mentally I was just not capable of doing it, and this was part of my brain giving into every single excuse that I gave it. But now that I feel like I stopped checking the news and I started working on mental health and I started exercising for my mood and for those endorphins, it's been a lot easier to step back and be like, okay, I don't need to eat. I'm remembering why I'm doing this. And now I'm getting over that hump, and I'm really not getting the symptoms as much anymore. Like I said, when you practice, it gets easier. So the first couple times when you do like, I don't know, 7 days or 10 days, 14 days, 21 days, if you've done it before, and the first time you really take the time to do it, if you get over those 3 or 4 days, then you know that it's possible. And after that, it's autopilot. Like I always say, you're coasting from there. It's autopilot, and you don't even have to think anymore. Your hunger goes away. Your energy's coming back. You're going to be more excited. Your euphoria is coming back, and it's just going to be such a great experience. So that's why I know a lot of people are more advocates of like 48 hours or 72 hours or like the rolling 48s, rolling 72, stuff like that. But I personally think that it's a good experience for people to experience what it's like to get over that 5-day hump and get to day 5, 6, 7, because that's really when I start to see like the benefits mentally. And obviously a lot of people are doing this for weight loss, but if you want to do this for mental health, I really think that that's when it kicks in for me. In terms of like when you're eating sugary foods and you're super depressed, and then you just kind of feel like you're in a hole and you can't get out of that hole. And exactly kind of what happened to me for the past couple months, where you're feeling like more insecure than ever. And you know, I wasn't making any videos anymore, stuff like that. I wasn't at rock bottom because I hit that several years ago, but in terms of like this year, how I was feeling this year and recently, then that was kind of my rock bottom that I bounced off of, and now I'm feeling better. And I really, really, really attribute most of that success to getting over the hump with water fasting and kind of snapping my mind back into the correct mindset by doing the habit tracker, forcing myself to do the things that I want to do, forcing myself back into a fast, even though it's hard, and putting all the energy that I can in that, then making these videos to hold myself and you guys accountable. So there's a lot of different things, and this is just kind of what I wanted to talk about in terms of hunger and resisting the urges to eat, and trying to just kind of step back and be like, okay, I have control over myself. I have control over my mind, right? The same way that you wouldn't prance on someone in the street that you're attracted to, the same thing with eating, right? You have that attractive food. It's the same thing. It's not an attractive human. It's an attractive piece of food. You wouldn't just pounce on it in public, so why would you pounce on it at home? It's the same kind of control. You could just step back and say, listen, you are the animal inside me. Some people say it's like unleashing the tiger, right? So instead of unleashing that tiger, just realize that you have the control over that tiger to put it back on a leash, put it back in the cage or in the sanctuary, because, you know, the whole cage thing. Did you guys watch Tiger King? I know you guys are supposed to be talking. Why am I talking to myself? Why is nobody chatting with me? Oh, Deborah's here. I know you guys are here. Please chatting. I'll just talk to myself. That was my little rant of the day. That was my little rant of the day in terms of hunger. So I hope that that helped a little bit. And what time is it now? Right now is 6 p.m. So we have boot camp with the Glow Up crew. That's the water fasting, not water fasting. That's the OMAD and Intro to Fasting group. So we have a boot camp. Oh, you guys are all here now. All of a sudden. Hey, Alyssa! Alyssa, I have beef with you, Alyssa. Alyssa, and I know that you opened my email because I have a tracker, and I know you opened it a couple days ago and you did not reply. You better reply to me right now. I'm so happy you're back. I'm gonna give you so much beef. I'm gonna have a problem with you. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, then in that case, you take your time. 40 plus says, I like your allegory. I bought Brain Over Binge, pretty good so far. Deborah said, I lost my message thing. All of a sudden, I told you guys to do the message, and now you're all doing the messages again. So you guys are naughty. You guys just made me rant for the whole 20 minutes, and now you're like, oh, no, I'm here. Can you like the video? Because, yeah, just because I said so. Because I love you guys. And then we're going to have, like, our natural daily dislike, because there's always a dislike. Kimberly says, I've been craving Chick-fil-A, and this helped me drive through without stopping because I'm fasting today, too. Nice. We don't want you to feel all alone. See, this is why I like the Zoom boot camps, because the Zoom boot camps, the Zoom calls, then I can see your faces. So I know that even if I'm talking too much, I can still see you guys, like, you know, running around, chasing your kids and your dogs in the back. But yeah, so if anybody wants to come to boot camp tonight, we had our 3 p.m. water fasting call, and we have our 8:30 p.m. water fasting call tonight. And then today we have cardio and arms for the boot camp. So arm workout is fun. Megs is there. Megs, aka Galaxy. I haven't forgotten. So we're gonna do boot camp for whatever the boot camp people. But anyway, if any of you guys want to join boot camp, I don't think if I show you this that you're gonna want to come to boot camp. But that's our arm workout. And then here, it's so nice because now Megan, well, it says Megs, but I know it's Megan. But now I know what you look like because we do the other calls. So now I'm like, I know who you are, Galaxy. And the only reason we have to call her Galaxy now is because she was one of the only ones in the Zoom group that didn't change her name. So it was just like her phone. It said Galaxy. And then, yeah, so that's why you're Galaxy. Design Your Happiness is there. Guys, Design Your Happiness. She's a life coach. She reached out to me on Instagram the other day. And her name is Lucia. She's beautiful. So she just started a YouTube channel as well. So congratulations and thank you so much for coming. Day 5 is amazing. So amazing and Lucia, I'm saying your name correctly, I hope. It's a beautiful name. And I broke down and added my name to Zoom. Okay, that's good, Megan. So tonight we'll have Megan. And then I'm going to be like sad because there's not going to be a Galaxy anymore. But yeah, so this is our workout for tonight okay, not for the water fasting group. For the water fasting group, this is not your workout for tonight. But this is our boot camp group. And I promise that as soon as I lose a little bit more weight, because I'm a little insecure right now, it's just a mental thing, that I will record the workouts for you guys. But it's just I'm kind of caught up in the whole, you know, all those people on Instagram and stuff or on Facebook, YouTube, they're making like very professional looking videos and they all like 20-year-old models. So part of me still has a little bit of that insecurity because I wish I looked like them because they work so hard and they look great and they probably eat great. And I'm still dealing with my own insecurities in terms of like, okay, I'm going to put my body out there and I want to help people with the workouts. And I'm also goofy. Like I can't hold the whole move. You guys see me in the workouts when I'm like, oh my God, guys, this is hard. And I put my leg down. But I think that would be a different way to do the workout videos as well. Because I don't think anybody is that fit and we kind of like take breaks all the time. So it could be funny. If you guys give me enough motivation, then I will film at least my booty workout and I will put it on here for you guys. But that's kind of, I know, it's just it's my mental barrier, right? First of all, my mental barrier was making YouTube videos in general. Like that was so scary for me. And then I was so scared to do live videos. That was the scariest thing for me. And now I'm kind of comfortable with that. I feel more comfortable with that. And I've kind of gotten over those fears. So I guess the next fear that I have to face is go ahead and film my workout video. So I will do it soon. And if you ask a couple people in this group, then they'll tell you that the booty workouts work. I've been doing it for like, I don't know, Kyle, how long have we been doing them now? It's been like a month or 2 months. And my butt, I swear it was kind of like more like that. And now it's like, bloop. But now it also has to get smaller in a good way, for all you booty enthusiasts. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Kyle, 2 months-ish, right? We've been doing them for a long time. So anyway, that's my little talk for today about cravings and urges. Do you guys have any questions for today? Or I know we're going to pop onto the call tonight and we're going to see you guys in boot camp soon. If any of you guys want to try boot camp tonight, it's in 1 hour, it's on Zoom. Send me a message. You could just come try it out for free tonight and just see how you like it. And then maybe if you guys want to join boot camp or you guys want to join next week's water fasting challenge. Next week's challenge is going to start, the kickoff is on May 28th. And the spots go really fast because I limit them and I don't want to have like a million people on the calls to make sure that we can talk to each person individually. But if you guys want to join either the boot camp, which is going on for the next 4 weeks, which is OMAD plus intro to fasting and also some kind of like mini fast, like 2 or 3 day fast and OMAD and coaching for that, then you guys can send me an email or comment down below. Actually, send me an email because or else I can't really give you details. And also you can join the Zoom calls for the water fasting group, which is 3 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. and the next round starts May 28th. So let me know about that if you guys want to join, and I'll give you guys the details, and I take some donations for those. So let me know, and I hope I see you guys there. Deborah, do you see people losing well on OMAD and Bootcamp? Well, Kyle is here actually. He's on live with us right now. Kyle, in the past 4 weeks, he lost 19.6 pounds with the Bootcamp, right? He's been coming to every single workout, and he's been actually doing some more running on the side as well, which I think that's a huge reason that he's been doing well as well. And also he's been doing like the mini fast that we have and also OMAD. So Kyle, you lost what, 19.6? How much have you lost so far? Have you reweighed yourself since last time you gave us the number? He lost 19.6. Then I think there's another member who lost 20 and another member who lost 15. And then Luann, let's see if I could pull up her. I don't know if Luann's here today. You're probably not on the live today. But let me show you guys Luann's results. It's amazing. Haven't weighed back in yet. That's okay. We don't have to weigh in all the time. Let me show you guys Luann's results. Wow. All of you guys are amazing. She just posted them in the group. So I'm just going to pull it up real quick so I can show you guys her results. Wow. Okay, obviously the photo I'm going to show you is not from the bootcamp, but I'll tell you exactly how much she lost in the bootcamp as well. As soon as my internet loads. Not loading. Okay. Of course it's not loading. Join other network. My internet is finicky. Okay. If you guys go look in the Facebook group, she posted it there. She was like, oh my God, it's incredible. So that's Luann. Just go search Luann up in the group. She just posted her transformation photo. But in the group, I think she said something like she lost 13 inches or something like that in the last 4 months. But Luann, if you see this, you can go put it in the links below and just let us know exactly how much you lost in the past 4 weeks. But everyone has lost between like 15 to 20 pounds, I think, in the last 4 weeks, which is incredible. So now we're on round 2 of the boot camp. That was round 1. And now we have another 4 weeks and we're kind of stepping it up a notch. And I have the calendar out for you guys. So if ever you guys want to join the boot camps after those Zoom calls and after the water fasting, then you could do that as well. That's kind of like a good way to maintain and make sure that you don't go on a bender and eat a bunch of food and still maintain an OMAD schedule, still maintain, your workouts and still maintain all those things. Selma's asking how to treat constipation on day 4. So let me tell you a little bit of something since we're talking about bowel movements now. During fasting, if you're not consuming any food, there is nothing going out. So nothing in, nothing out. So it's not actually constipation unless you're uncomfortable for some reason. But just remember, nothing in, nothing out. So there's not going to be any bowel movements at all for a while. Maybe on day 7, you'll have one or something like that. But that's pretty much it, right? Deborah says, I'm in the fast now and would love to move forward into your boot camps. Love the community. You attract great people. And Tia says, just finished a 7-day fast and lost 12.6 pounds. So it really depends on each person, what they're doing. Tia, make sure that you follow the refeed protocol or whatever refeed protocol that you're following, but stay strict with it. Write it down as a list, write a meal plan, and then go to thewaterfastingforum.com. And if you type in refeed 101 in the search bar, all the refeed kind of info that I wrote up is there. And then Deborah, of course, we would love to have you as part of the boot camps. And I have not forgotten that one day I'm going to do a 1-hour toning session for you. So don't forget, I will do that for you. And I'm so happy. I feel the same way that you say about how somehow we've attracted like very positive people to our group. I think the negative people in our group, I just don't think that maybe the negative people are just not attracted to my energy or something like that, because it seems like in our community we have a lot of positive people. And I think that's also because I kind of manage it in a way that if there are negative comments, like people know that it's not acceptable, so they'll report the post and stuff. But I only get one post reported like once a week. I very rarely get any reported posts in the group. And it just seems like everybody who's there is very encouraging, judgment-free, not putting their unsolicited opinions on each other. And we're all there in a way to benefit each other and help each other and actually rise as a community, which I obviously like, I am kind of, what is it called? what is it called? I'm tooting my own horn a little bit. Like I feel good about our community because I've been part of a lot of other communities, and in the other communities, I've seen a lot of like hate and toxic stuff. And I don't know who the mods and the admins are of other Facebook communities, but I'm the only one managing our little community. And I think part of that is because we're still very small, so we're able to kind of see like only the positive people, and the positive people are really in the game and really trying to make it a positive place for everyone. So I thank you guys for that, because you guys are the ones that are making that community so great, making it so positive, and it's so amazing. So anyway, this video is a little bit of a rant, but a little bit just to talk about all the good foods that you don't need to eat right now that you can eat in the future, and now we can just turn that animal brain off and get over it for now and keep fasting. I'm on day 3, rolling into day 4. We'll see how long I'm going. I do the boot camps, which I don't recommend doing high intensity interval training while fasting, but as the guys in the boot camp know, the girls in the boot camp, both of you guys know that I take it easy. I do the modifications, so I'm not jumping around too much, and that's all you need to know. You can join the boot camps if you're doing water fasting, but you just have to know that you just have to take it easy, because especially if you've never fasted before, you will get lightheaded and stuff. So it's a better idea to stay away from intense exercise. That's why I'm gonna see now. I wanna go for a long one, but because I'm running the boot camp 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks, then it's kind of important to, pace myself, and I may or may not do some refeeds. But for now, going strong, day 3, going on day 4. I'm gonna read that comment. Somebody said, Galaxy Megs just said, ACV shot with a 1/4 teaspoon of Bragg baking soda cleans you out. Good for the kidneys too. Use a straw. Exactly. So for example, for the acid reflux as well, if you do half an ounce, what I do is half an ounce of apple cider vinegar with, I do half an ounce of water, but you guys can put a little more if it's too strong. I'm just used to it now. And use use a reusable straw, because the apple cider vinegar could be rough on your enamel and your teeth. And if we're gonna be doing this kind of long term, we wanna make sure that we're protecting our teeth too. So yeah, there are a couple little tips, and I'm gonna get yelled at in a few seconds because it's 6:08. Actually, we have plenty of time. But bootcamp starting in 50 minutes, so it's gonna be on Zoom. If you guys wanna join, just let me know, put it down. Actually, just send me an email at fastforwardtohealth@gmail.com, or just send me a DM on Instagram. It's YPIYALE. Or you can message me on the other Instagram, because I have too many Instagrams. It's fastforward_to_health, and I'll give you the link, and you can come join for tonight and let me know how you like it. And it's gonna be a 30-minute cardio and arm workout. Gonna be pretty easy. I'm not gonna push myself too much because I'm on day 3, going on day 4. Okay, so that's all I have for today. I hope that helps you with your hunger. I hope listening to these videos distract you momentarily from hunger and remind you why you don't want to eat. So again, if you guys want, Brain Over Binge is a great book that I'm reading right now, in the description box down below. Rational Recovery is going to be the next book that I'm reading after that. And then these are 2 other books I put in the description box that I've read that I really like, so they're down there as well. So there you go. Okay, perfect. So I'll see you guys later, and nice seeing you guys. Happy fasting. I will see you guys on the Zoom call, or in the boot camp, or in the live tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Mwah. Bye.